This is a 2002 Dodge Neon, and this Dodge Neon has an issue. It goes into fail-safe mode sometimes, and sometimes it shifts like it's supposed to. Well, what it has is an output speed sensor code and a gear ratio code. Well, if it has a gear ratio code, if the output speed sensor is not working, then it will have a gear ratio code, because the computer uses the output speed sensor and the input speed sensor in order to determine the gear ratio. So therefore, if it can't determine what the gear ratio is, because it can't see the signal sent to it by the sensor, then it will set gear ratio code also. That's how they have it designed. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the codes that comes up on this Dodge Neon. See, this code here says output speed sensor circuit P0720 and also P0731, gear 1 incorrect ratio. So let me see, there's a freeze frame data. Now this says no freeze frame available. There should be freeze frame. Okay. Okay, this says no freeze frame. Now if this code set, there should be some freeze frame. Okay, so it goes back to the code that was set. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get another OBD2 scanner hook up to this, so I can see if I can get some freeze frame to see when it's actually set. Alright, this is old cheapy one. Let's see what this is. It has the same code reading, which is P0720. Output shaft speed sensor circuit. And there's freeze frame there. See if you all can see that. Freeze frame. And up there you see the code P0720. The engine RPMs was 896 and the vehicle speed 3 miles an hour. That's when it's set. That's what I'm looking at. Set at around 3 miles an hour. Now the customer did say that there's the incorrect gear ratio code, P0700, which simply means that the TCM is requesting or sees a problem. Now this is a brake switch B input circuit. All right. Okay, once again, the most important code was the P0 that I'm focusing on is P0, what was it, 720. Alright, now with this scanner, let me see, I'm going to go into the enhanced side of things. Now I'm going to the data, and what I'm going to do, since I'm having an output speed sensor code, I'm going to look at the, let me see, let me enter here. I think that puts that to the top. Input, output. I'm going to look at the input and the output speed sensor. Okay, I highlight, where are you? I can't highlight it there. Well, the input and the output speed sensor is here at the top. Okay. When I put it at the top, it won't let me put the highlight button on there. Well, I want the black highlight on there. So the input is there and the output is there. So I'm going to start this vehicle. And there's the input RPMs right below the black highlight. The output RPMs are in the black highlight. Let me see. There is nothing here for me to make this stand up. Okay, like you're going to see the input and the output. Okay. Now, let me make sure this is not against the tire. You see the input and the output there. Now I'm going to start the engine. And what you see, the input speed sensor is reading 864. 868. You see it, 824, 871. The output speed sensor is reading 0. However, the output speed sensor is supposed to read 0 because it's in park. It's only supposed to read when it starts moving. So I'm going to put this in gear and let the wheels spin. This is a A604 transmission, or 41 TE, that's inside here. Now, the tires are spinning, and this vehicle should be, the output speed sensor should be reading, but it's not. Okay? And it's plugged up. Now, either the output speed sensor is bad, or the wiring is bad, or the computer is bad. If the speed sensor is bad, the computer is telling the truth. You can't see it. If the wiring is bad, the computer is still telling the truth. We can't see it. But which one is what? Okay? That's what we got to figure out. Now, let me show you. The wheels are turning on here. Be hard to see. Maybe you can see that. The wheels are spinning. Okay? And it's still reading. Output speed sensor still reading 0. Alright. Now if you look down here, there's the output speed sensor plug right there. And I have the insulation peeled back because I'm going to do some testing there. I'm going to find out if the sensor is bad. Now these sensors are known for going bad, but also what's known for going bad is right where the wires go into that plug, they go bad. Now a lot of times you can do a wiggle test and you can get it to work. So let's see, I'm going to try to do that. Okay, this is where I'm wiggling right here. Push it this way. Now the reason I'm doing this, because if they make a connection, then on the scanner it's going to show a reading. Now if it's completely broken, it won't show a reading. And if it's not broken at all, it still won't show a reading if something else is bad. So that's not working, because it's still not showing any reading here at the output speed sensor. So what do? Well, we can ohms test the sensor and see if it shows proper ohms. So we're going to do that first with a meter. Alright, what I have is a brand new pigtail for the output speed sensor right here. Okay, and I'm going to take that pigtail off, or take the wire harness off, and I'm going to put this on, and since the wires are exposed, I'm going to put the connectors on this with the meter and see what type of reading am I getting. Alright, let's see here. Alright, move that out the way. And I'm going to hook this one in. Now that's in. This part is exposed. I'm going to hook the meter to these two and see what the ohms are on this sensor. Okay, I have the meter hooked up to the two pigtails, or to the two pieces here, one here, and I have the other one here, and this brand new pigtail is connected to the sensor right there. Okay, now let's see what the meter is reading. The meter is reading 0.726. Okay, 0.726. All right, so that is reading fine. 0.726. If the resistance was broken down in there, it should read 0. So let me take this off. I'm going to unplug it. It would probably read OL. OL. Plug it back in. 0.726. Okay. Now, I have a brand new output speed sensor. I'm going to plug that in. Here's a brand new one here. I'm going to plug it into this, and we're going to see what it says. Okay, plugged into the new output speed sensor, it reads 0.726. .67. Now this one in the vehicle was running, so it kind of got hot. This one here didn't get hot and has not been in the vehicle yet, but is reading .678. Now what? Is the sensor bad because it said 0.7? We already saw on the scanner that it was not reading. Okay, so is it the sensor breaking down? Again, is it the wiring? We see what we did with the meter. All right, so now we're going to try something different. 0.679. We're going to try something different. We're going to try hooking up a scope and see what it tells us right at the sensor.